Welcome to the deep dive. Ever notice how some software feels, well, really specific about how you do things, while other times it just seems to understand what you want?
Yeah, it's a fundamental difference in communication.
Exactly. And today we're doing a deep dive into that, looking at two core ways we talk to computers: imperative and declarative programming. We're drawing from declarative and imperative languages.pdf. Our goal here is pretty simple: cut through the technical terms and give you a really clear, quick handle on what these are, how they differ, and, where they pop up.
Sounds good. Let's get into it.
Okay, so let's start with imperative languages. This might feel more intuitive, maybe. It's like giving someone a super detailed recipe. You spell out how to get the results step by tiny step.
That's a great analogy. With imperative, yeah, the whole focus is the how. You're using very specific commands, think loops, if-then statements, sequences of actions.
You're in charge of everything.
Pretty much. The programmer directly manages the state, what the variables hold at any moment, and the control flow, the exact order things happen in.
And which languages are we talking about here? Common ones.
Oh yeah, definitely common ones. Python, Java, C, C++, Maya. You've likely run into code written in these.
Okay, so it's about dictating every precise step the computer needs to take, like total control.
Exactly. Fine-grained control is the name of the game.
But I wonder, does that level of micromanagement almost ever get in the way, especially with big, complex software? Does it make finding bugs a nightmare?
That's a really sharp question. Yes, it can. While you have that precise control, it often means the code can become harder to read, harder to maintain, especially as it grows.
Right.
And debugging. Yeah, figuring out exactly where, in a long chain of commands, a variable got the wrong value.
Yeah.
That can take a lot of time.
Okay, that absolutely makes sense. So if imperative is all about the how, the step-by-step, does declarative just flip that completely?
It really does, conceptually speaking. Declarative programming shifts focus entirely. It's all about what result you want, not how to get it.
So you just state the goal.
You essentially describe the desired outcome, yeah. And the system underneath, the language or the database, figures out the actual steps needed. It's kind of like telling a smart assistant, hey, give me the weather forecast.
Okay.
I don't tell it how to connect to the weather service or parse the data or format the text. You just state the what. The system handles the how.
That sounds, a lot simpler maybe. What makes that work? What are the key features?
The main thing is abstraction. It hides the control flow, the step-by-step stuff, and the messy details of managing state from you, the programmer.
Right.
You just declare the end result. This often leads to code that's much more concise, easier to grasp, and maybe surprisingly, easier to maintain because you're not bogged down in the process details.
Easier to maintain because it's shorter and focused on the goal.
Exactly. And another benefit, sometimes the system itself can figure out a more efficient way, maybe a faster, to get that result than you might have explicitly coded step by step. Think SQL for databases, HTML for web pages, even Prolog and AI.
I remember first learning SQL, it felt so different from other coding I'd done. It wasn't about loops, it was just select this or that. It clicked, this is what I want.
That's the declarative mindset right there.
So if it's potentially easier, more concise, why isn't everything declarative? When do you really need that step-by-step imperative control?
That's the crucial point. They both have their place, definitely. You reach for imperative when you absolutely need that detailed control over how things happen, maybe for performance-critical code or low-level system stuff where every operation counts.
Okay.
But declarative really shines for things like data transformations, database queries, configuration files, anywhere the what is more important than the how, and where clarity and brevity are big wins.
And it's not like you have to choose just one, right? The source mentioned they often get mixed together.
Oh, absolutely. That's the reality in modern software development. You very often see a blend.
Like the example given.
Yeah, the classic example is embedding SQL queries, which are declarative inside, say, a Python script, which is primarily imperative. You use each tool where it fits best.
That makes sense. Use the right tool for the job.
Precisely. And understanding this distinction, this difference in approach, it really helps you appreciate the software you use every day. You start to see why some things work the way they do, why some interactions feel different.
So let's quickly recap then. Imperative.
Yeah.
Telling the computer how to do something, step by step, like that detailed recipe.
Right. Managing the flow and state directly.
And declarative.
Yeah.
Telling it what result you want, letting the system figure out the how, like asking that smart assistant for the weather.
Yep, focusing on the outcome, abstracting the process.
And very often, in the real world, These two approaches work hand in hand.
Exactly. Which, leads to a pretty interesting thought to chew on.
Well, as our technology gets smarter, as systems become more autonomous, are we going to see a bigger shift? Will our communication with computers lean more and more towards purely declarative instructions, just stating our desired outcomes and leaving the how entirely up to the machine?